Homies, welcome back to episode 13. Lucky number 13, depending on who you'd speak to, but of the Willoughby experience. And this is just more cleaning up we're trying to get the main park done. Like, as soon as this is done, the whole main park is done, and we're gonna walk through everything and see just how it's running with peeps, guests, before we really get started with the water park. And then everything else after that would be just inspiration and or ideas given from y'all, or just from what I get just from looking at what's being added or seeing the creations out there. But hopefully y'all doing okay. Hopefully y'all doing cool out there. We're a little bit closer, just a few more days until that update. At least when this one comes out, we should be close. A few more days. And now I'm finally caught up with the time lapses. About what you're seeing here is about where, at least on the 3rd of December, is where I was really seeing every, like, we're close to it, because, and at the end of the day, it's also because we're at the end of this main park anyway. We're not pushing further back at all. Any other rides, like I said, we're adding, they're going to be somehow plopped around in this main area, because they do not want to buy and or work on trying to buy more acreage. So we're going to say Stonecrest is not going to do that. Here, I got inspired by seeing other creators, and I'm like, I need a... That, and on top of the fact that I use planters myself finally for the first time, I was able to really, I was like, you know what, this would look nice if I'd have this here, especially because it's right there. Now, it's not like you're walking literally underneath it, but the supports are right there, so why not? Why don't we just go along with the illusion there? It'll make it look pretty. We do it on both sides, where you can see it close by. Not in that little divot, but on the other side, right before that brake run. And only thing I gotta finish with this ride at the moment, which will be done and probably will be the next time lapse, is just this gift shop. So I want it to be where they're coming out and they want to buy something, but also probably deter peeps that would just walk into the gift shop anyway and buy something, like walk up the exit. But I also have it to where it's kind of like Fury's and Universal's gift shops, to where it's not like they're actually out of the way. Like you're walking out of the way or walking up the exit ramp literally to get to it. It's almost like it's its own shop and it has its own entrance to it. Like the entrance and the exit are kind of one and two. They just dump you into the gift shop more so. Kind of want to get that feel. So I want to see how that goes. I have a few ideas. I have a few brainstorming. We'll see. Regardless though, I'm just doing some here. I think looking back, I added too much flowers, but I might keep it. I might not. We'll see. I know I added a lot of flowers. That was the issue. And it's a bit too much, but everything else with this ride, I wanted it for the moment to look as if it was still being worked on, basically, for all this time leading up to it. So we're gonna still have a lot of that compact dirt, not much actual blood and soil, and a lot of rock, as if they kind of had to go down a bit deep in some of these areas, because they did, as you can see. And yeah, just make it a bit more like there's not a lot of overgrowth, but like they maybe had to plant something just in case. Like they're planting stuff so there can be more overgrowth in the future. There's stuff on around it that is a bit more, but yeah, this is it. And like I said, I like how these planters came out. Now, maybe the park could have added, said, you know what, let's add a big old planter by that divot near the end. But no, I like these two as they are. Really what I like, what comes together, is the sign of LaZer. Like I said in the last time lapse, that turned out I really liked how that looked, because it's simple, but it really stands out. You know, it has a presence, or what a lot of people like to say, it has an aura, especially with how it's placed alongside big elements of the ride. And that's one thing I really I notice I'm a big fan of when it comes to coaster layouts in general. Like, if they have big elements that are unique, I'm probably like a big fan of that ride. Now, I am a big fan of the fast pace, quick, the ones that are kind of like the wave turns and the quick RMC elements, like those quick airtime pops. I'm a fan of those too. Don't get it twisted. I'm a very big fan of those. But when a ride has just fully pronounced elements all the way through, kind of like an Air Force One, Steel Vengeance first half, yeah, like that is my jam. That's like my favorite stuff. I say that, but my favorite coaster is honestly, it has pronounced elements, right? But it has kind of a mix of the two. Man, I'm not gonna say it just to make you guys think about that. For me, it's an overall package and just a aggressive work of art. That's all I'll leave it at. I'll give a few more hints if you guys are actually curious about my number one there. But here's me just making a simple staff building, which in hindsight looks better than what I remember putting together. Because when I was putting this together, I was not too happy with it actually. But lo and behold, actually didn't come out too bad. Especially for a staff building, right? I didn't want it to be anything. If it were something that the guests are going to be interacting with, I'd probably would have gussied up a bit more, but yeah, this is just for the staff to rest the dogs, rest their legs, and chill after dealing with all the traffic we got coming in. Because we haven't even hit 4K yet, but we're getting close to 4K, guys. I'm really trying to see and push that limit of 6K before the update, but I'm going to have to really play for a bit. We have a bit of time off now, so see if I can. It's my quote-unquote weekend. But as we're seeing here, just doing some finer details so that it doesn't look just blank, but it also kind of doesn't stand out. Like I want to just feel like it's a part of Willoughby experience, right? It's the main thing here. But as we finish up with that, we start throwing in some things in the planters, scenery here. Also make sure to keep up with all the love and everything. Like I've been keeping up with it, not with all the subscriptions and all of the views y'all been giving me. I appreciate it greatly. Really, I'm surprised by it, but yeah, I was saying here, like, I start going off simple, and honestly, I might cut back on the flowers here, because I kind of do like it where it's kind of not too much. And I almost feel like they wouldn't have they wouldn't be given the budget to have as many flowers as they do. And here's where I was deciding, okay, where do I want to put this disco? And I'm like, all right, unfortunately, we're gonna have to get rid of a bit of stuff here to make it work. But we end up making it work. This ride does make the guests very sick, though, at least comparatively to other rides. I have not seen throw up, at least at all, in this game, and I added this ride and opened it, and all of a sudden there's throw up leading all the way back, and at the entrance it's like, okay, clearly this ride it's a lot more not nauseating than the last game. Clearly. I feel like if you should be able to fine-tune that though, like so you kind of can. So let's say like if I change the operation cycle of it and I give it some new different tricks to do, or maybe make it more aggressive or listen to, you could probably do stuff like that, right? Now I would like it if I could even fine tune it more and even change the speed of it. That'd be great, because they kind of all have a default speed for the most part, but sometimes you're able to change the speed. But in general, that would be pretty amazing. All in all, though, just kind of doing everything else here. Also, I have to do I think that's going to be a merchandise store. I'm not going to do the interior in this park. It's because I am already trying to do a bit more, and I do want this to be somewhat done. And I want to focus on that stuff on another park. So, but all the terrain here is where I'm saying I'm just trying to make it look like it's gone through a bit. Like this whole plot of land, I want it to look like it's been worked on, constructed in, and it's been beaten up a bit. It's gonna take a time for it to kind of come into its place, right? And that's really the look I always a big fan of pulling off. And see here, I think, yeah, looking back, I'm definitely going to change what I did. I really like how simple it is. When I go with the flower beds here, it's just too much. Just for me, at least. So some people might like it, but for me, this is like it's a down across like this the whole way. Bits to flower head. Yeah. Oh yeah. What's unfortunate about that is I don't think it's going to be easy to change. In the sense of, I don't know. It might be. It might be. I digress though. If y'all do enjoy this, make sure to keep up with the other stuff that we have on here. The other playlists. The whole playlist of all of this so far. All planning goes to seeing what this has become. And yeah, at the end of the next time lapse, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna showcase the back end, showcase the whole park, and maybe have a little video, and even showcase the ride that we have in the park right now. Because that was the one thing is I wanted to show, you know, the rides we have in the park, but I didn't want to show it where it looked literally like the front end was fine and the back part is like still just open and it looks like a sandbox still. Like it didn't necessarily look finished. So even if I wasn't, like, I could probably do it now because all the infrastructure's there, most of the scenery's places, got to do a bit more brushing, but all in all, like, everything is there still. So from here, we are just doing I was trying to fine tune the all of this here, this queue. Because when I did the square fencing, it was like when I first learned about the method, and I feel like I'm much better at it now. At least when I do it now, I feel like I'm much better. But there are certain shapes, there's certain pathings, like if you do it close enough, like what you see here, it just will not listen. You're just gonna have to go with the specific what you got, you know. But right here is where we start with the sign, and I wish I could have shown y'all the rest of the station and everything, but you will see it. It's one of those situations. Now this time I didn't forget to record, but I was on my laptop away from my official gaming setup, and it was already kind of struggling to run the game. So it's not necessarily meant, I mean, it's definitely meant for gaming, but it's also, I can't say it was budget, but at the time it was like 5 years ago, it was kind of a steal. Like, oh my god, you got this pretty powerful laptop. Now it's like, it's not hitting like it used to. It's gone through, you know, its time period of when it was supposed to be. So, I think because of that, I didn't want the footage to look any worse. I didn't want, you know, that to change. I'm like, okay, let's I'll keep going on it really hard so that I only got to focus on a little bit with that next time lapse, and then just show the back end and basically the park being open. So just look at the park and then probably do some more real time. I feel like I kind of want to experiment with that too, and the video lengths will probably be a bit shorter or about the same. And really what I would be doing is just going through building and then recording and talking about what I built. Just to change up. And I think at the point now, I mean, I kind of don't know what I want to build with the water park yet. That will be my first time building a water park, actually. So, because of that, yeah, I would definitely be not. It's not supposed to be ugly. In fact, maybe it's unusable footage because I just don't know what I'm building. So I'm definitely gonna be doing some real time there to show you what I did build after my copious amounts of time wasted and things being put in places and then just rebuilt and over and over and over again. I know this is LaZer. So I end up doing scaffolding like a canopy over the end brake run here. And it does not end up exactly like what we have here because, like I said, I end up finishing up the station. But it ends up better because what ended up happening was I just couldn't. So I wanted to have essentially LaZer to be almost like it's a part of the canvas canopy and all that. But trying to put it on the canopy was not necessarily the easiest with it being a 3D letter. So I had to compromise, and I basically made it like it's a connected like lights that they had in there, so it'll be used to light up during when it's dark and all that stuff. But basically, I'm just keeping this in just to showcase the idea, because it looks much better than what I end up with here. And I had struggles in general trying to really get it to work. Really, the issue I had at the end was I tried to have it to where the canopy is almost like a hand chopper. And there was moments like at the very end of the brake run there with that crazy ejector moment, but I was like, it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. So here is where you see me kind of struggling with what I was trying to do. The multi-select hitboxes definitely need work, and I don't know if they're gonna be trying to if that's one thing in the works or not. But here's where I was first going with the attempt here. Just putting it here, and the issue was that it was never fully lined. And honestly, I was gonna deal with that, but because of everything else and just me not being super happy with the look, I said, okay, we're just gonna go with it being like it's a horizontal hanging light, kind of like a post holding it, and keep it at that. And I didn't want it to be the hard Planet Coaster canopy, because I wanted it to be like this was a last minute thing, like, alright, we're gonna give you shade covering, but this ride was so expensive, everything else is like very, very cheap. So you're lucky we're even giving you this. Like, I'm imagining like Pantheon and stuff. At the end, everything about it, you don't have anything at the end. You know, it's like it's just if it's raining, and I rode that ride in the rain a lot of times. Like you're just sitting there soaking, you know, like nothing there to cover you. 305 the same way. You know, they'll put all the money for the ride itself and none of the infrastructure around it. So I wanted to keep that same thing here, but as we're getting to the end, if you like this, make sure to give the video a like. If you want more of this, make sure to give the video, you gotta give the video, give the channel a subscription. I don't know why it's so hard for me to think about the channel being a subscription and not the video. But, and also give the high rollers a listen. The podcast, the thing that this YouTube started on. You know, I know it's not as frequent as the video content here, but really do appreciate it. And the new episode should be out by the time this has dropped, where we talk about our honorable mention in the top 50, and our top 25 is coming very soon in the next coming episode. Top 25 coaches we have ridden. So if that stuff interests you, the nerdiness, the tangents, keep up with it, man. But otherwise, y'all, stay motivated with your creations. I'm getting my drive a bit back. Like I said, I was getting a bit burnt out, but recording these time lapses and taking a bit of a break and sticking everything, it's getting my drive back. So everyone, stay homey out there. Never know who you meet in this little hobby. Remember that. And thank y'all for all the traction. Thank y'all for all the love on these videos, and take care. Peace out, y'all.